morning, Nigeria. Good morning, Abuja. Good morning, everyone. And then today is another day, as we always said, we have said to go out, how what to do, what we know how to do best. And then today we are going out to carry out samples of soil because, as you can see, the season is fast approaching, and then preparation has to be on ground so that when rain starts, then action begins. So that is what we are telling our members. Yes, we are not sitting down to tell you, come and do this fight. What we are using is agriculture, and then we are dealing with our expertise in various fields to make sure we succeed. That is why we are calling you upon you. Yes, come and join us. Yes, you know how to do your own way. So what do you think you can do better than the way we are? Come, let us, all of us, bring our heads together, and then we'll do a great thing in this country. So you can see I'm on this only road now. I'm going to set out for the trip. I'm going to visit the farm to check what we should do. And then how long will it take me? I don't know yet, but I'm just going there to see what I can do in my own little way. So I don't mind if you want to join me. So let's go and do the needful this morning. You know already sun is a kind of coming with a kind of seriousness. So though we are not that kind of, we are not afraid of the sun any longer. So God made it, and that is God that created us. He knows that yes, we are good. That is why He gave us this kind of sun. So I know it will help us to go a long way. That is why we are not that kind. What you think we are? We are serious minded, and then we mean business when we say we want to do something. That is what we always focus on to make sure we achieve all our aims. And then at this junction, I like to tell you, congratulate each and every one of us that he kind of join the squad. The essence of joining the squad is that let us win, 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 win. You want to win the fight. What about you? Hmm? What are you thinking now? Right? So what we are saying is no any other thing. Rather, we want all our members to have something doing in what? In farming. We are targeting focus focusing on ways in which we can eradicate poverty in our country. Our project is what? One family, one farmer. Don't be surprised very soon. Every family you go, you see poverty fighter squad. So why not you take a step now? Come and join the squad. Let's do the fight together. We always said a tree cannot make a forest. We need you, you need us as well. If really you love this country, let's come and do something. I know there are ways in which you are touching life in your own way, in your own capacity. Yes, you are trying to change things, but we are telling you now. That little way you are changing life, you are touching some other people's life. Come and join us. Let us do this together as well. At least it will go a long way in helping others people's life. So you are going to visit a field, as we said earlier. So we'll take a reconnaissance survey, and then we are going with our tools to make sure we collect some samples. So when we collect the samples, then we'll go move further to take it to laboratory analysis. Maybe after the analysis is done, then we know what kind of soil are we dealing with. What and what do we need to support the soil to give us what we want. From there, we'll be able to determine what kind of crop enterprise are we going to practice on the same field we take the sample from. My brother, we are into farming. We are farmers, not by mouth. You can see we don't speak too much English, so we are just telling you what you can understand. But when you join us a lot, you gain a lot from us. As well as I said, we are not an island of knowledge. what you know how to do best, come and join us. We share ideas together so that we can move this country forward. Hope to see you soon in Poverty Fighter Squad. I am Adams by name. As you can see, we are always on the fight. We don't think nonsense. We are serious minded people. So join us. Let's do the fight together. Thank you very much. So you can see on this is the measure of the road here now. You know, some of the farm road they don't have it's not motorable. So this is the kind of situation we found in this country. But on a normal situation, a farm road should be a kind of motorable for easy evacuation of farm produce. That is why we are saying the soil survey scientists now what they do, they visit the farm to see is this land where you tend to carry out the activities, is it accessible, is it by cars, is it accessible by only foot, or you can only walk on your feet and then you walk to the farm, or you can use motorbike to reach the farm. But you can see the nature of this soil, the land, the road here now is, you can see you can only use your motorbike to enter into this farm. So in case if you are embarking on a long on a big enterprise, so we advise at least let's just have access road that is accessible throughout all the season, because during the rainy seasons, you know, there are some roads you can enter pass through them now, but during the rainy season you can no longer follow the road. So therefore what we advise our farmers, when you are looking for any location of the farm, you should try at least let's have a road. At least when you have the road, definitely anytime you intend to visit the farm, it will be easy for you to visit the farm. So I know the farm is somehow like 3 kilometers away from the main road, but it's not that too far. Just it's small, but I think we can walk like 1 kilometer from the access from the main road where the motor can no longer enter. So that is how we do it, and then we monitor, we see. As I told you earlier, always want to make sure our members succeed in whatever enterprise in the field of agriculture they intend to embark on. So while we are taking our time to do the survey to make sure the soil is suitable, to give them an advice on this kind of enterprise they were to practice on the field where we have to take the sample, is that one, if you have the land and you don't know the kind of enterprise that is compatible to the environment, you may end up losing your resources. So that is why we said we don't want to garbage in and garbage out. So we can see, thank God we've arrived. So this is the field, and then we can see from afar there we have mangoes, cashew, and then the vegetation is somehow clear. We can see the leftover from the guinea corn from the last season harvest, the guinea corn straw, you can see them on the floor. So you know, cattle they graze here, and then during grazing now they trample on the soil to make the soil somehow little bit compacted. So the vegetation cover is very important, because from the vegetation cover we should be able to at least check if the soil is somehow rich in organic material. But as we can see here, the vegetation is not that much, but the little grasses here, some of them they have dried, and then they will definitely decay to some extent. So if we are going to add any organic material to the field, it's going to be somehow minor. But though I cannot conclude that maybe from the soil result we should be able to deduce what and what we have in the soil, and then what and what we need to add to the soil. So we are here And then why we are here is that yes, a farmer want to carry out a soil survey of a farm which he don't know what and what he tend to plant on the land. And that is why we are here to help our members to show that after we take our samples, then we should be able to know what and what we have to do on the field. So then majorly, as we are here today, we are going to do two different things. One, we are going to dig a soil profile to make sure to see to what extent is the soil of this location. Secondly, we are going to take what is called a composite sampling. The composite sampling is going to help us to know what kind of soil we are dealing with so that we'll be able to map out the location that have similar characteristics. Then we can give a recommendation on what and what we can do on the field. The essence of digging soil profile is that if you want to a kind of go into economic trees, as we can see mangoes, there is money. So we want to know to what extent in the soil, because the mango trees, whatever economic trees you want to plant, they penetrate deeper than the normal arable crops you want to farm. So that is why we want to check if it is okay for him. He can establish a kind of economic trees here, be it mango, orange, and whatever. So that is why we want to take a look at the soil. So keep waiting a lot. We are just loading. We are going to kind of share a lot on all of this field for you to know. And as we said earlier, we are going to map out the points we are to take the soil samples. But at this point now, we advise that we are going to have one soil profile here, because the terrain we have almost at this point, we have a gently slopey at this point we are. So we want to have one soil dig a soil profile here, but you can see down there's a slopey which the field between the field now there was a gully which separated the two portion of the field into almost halfway. So we want to as well we go that a bit now. I want to see what can we do to reduce these levels of erosion that is cutting across this place. If there's something that we can control, fine. And if we cannot control it, let's see. Definitely, there must something has to be done on this axis. So we are moving down the slope to see the effect of the gully here. That is very fantastic. You can see, yes, the gully here is okay. They did a very wonderful job here. So they didn't allow it to just spring like that. As the water was flowing from the history now, they planted rice presently on this gully erosion. You can see as it's cutting along from the top, coming down here. So the places they planted rice, it was not that kind deep compared to where they didn't plant anything at all. For example, now we can see from these two sides here, very close. You can see from the other side here, from this side here, you see that they planted rice. You see the root of those rice were able to a kind of anchor, trap some of the soil from cutting across. But you can see these places where they didn't do anything at all. They didn't plant the rice. You see, when the force of the water comes, we were able to deepen this place the more. So you see, so it's very good to use different dimensions in which you can control the erosion on your farm. So thank God they've taken one dimension. Then we'll think of what and what we can do next time. So we are just a kind of trying to see the history of the erosions. To what extent has it done damages to the land? And then it is something that can be controlled. So let's see. Okay. You can see on this view, on the ground here, the leftover straw on the field someone somehow unknowing or intentionally come and set the place ablaze, and all the leftover straw from the guinea corn and the rice were burnt down, not knowing that all of this help to add nutrient to the soil. They should have a kind of allowed it to decay. One, either it will serve as a mulching material, reducing the evapotranspiration from the soil surface. But not knowing how come they set the place ablaze. And then we notice, as we come here again, we notice something. We know these guys that he kind of look for sand everywhere. They were one of our problems on the field. You see, when they see anywhere that is somehow trying to create a channels of gully, so then trace it down to see where there's a kind of concentration of sand. So and then they'll come and evacuate the sand from the place, dig it, and then as they are digging the sand from the place, you see that it will increase, it will a kind of deepen the environment the more. So if you can see the effect of the activities here, you can see them gather the sand far from this place. So when they dig it, evacuate it from here, they deposit it here, then they will look for where to kind of transport it from this place to where they want to sell it. So we advise our farmers. No, it's not easy. Yes, everybody is looking for a daily job, but you are looking for what to eat, and then you are causing havoc to other people. At least you look for where it's not a farm, they are not using it for farm or any farming activities like that. Yes, you can go and look for your sand there. But this one is just the middle of the farm. And then you are doing this. At the end of it, if it happened that there was a flood, then all the farm, all the crops that planted here will be wiped away. So please, we are begging all our members, if you notice such situation in your farm as well, we advise at least just plead with them, try to locate them, plead with them. No, they should stop the kind of activities digging your at the middle of your land, in the, all in the name of we want to kind of looking for sand. So my brother, that is how it is. You can see at this point as well, from the middle where I showed you initially, there was no any farming activities, but a certain portion was used to farm what? Rice. Likewise, this place, this point we are now, at this point now, we have somehow a sediment that is somehow flat here, and then they use it to plant the rice as well. So they harvested the rice, and then if you can see, this place there was no a kind of a cutting of their gully. It stopped somewhere. They didn't do any farm production. They didn't plant any crop at all. And then it comes to this place, they planted rice again. You see that the concentration was normal. Everything was fine here because the rice were able to mm, trap the the soil in place. So it prevents it from washing away the soil. So that is one way in which we can control the soil erosion in our field. So so we can see like this point now is sediment now, a deposit of a sediment, water, sand, soil from other places. They came here, settle, and then compacted. They form a base here, which is a sedimentary area. So you see, okay, so we can see, so all these places is used for rice. So we advise we are going to take some sample from this place. So these are deposits now, a soil deposit from other place. We believe, we know this place is going to be somehow richer in terms of nutrient compared to other place that is somehow higher. So this is where we are going to take another sample here. We are going to take another sample on this field. Okay, we'll take another sample here. We are just marking out the place. The laborers, they will still come to do the needful. So that is how we do. You cannot do it alone. Definitely, you need other people to help you to do the work. Maybe I just coming to tell them what I want to do. So they'll take the sample from this place, and then another. I think we've marked like two places now. So we have 2 points we are going to take the sample. So then, so as you can see, we are gradually going up a hill somehow, kind of, because the place we are is form of a valley that is it cut across in between the two sides. So now we are going gradually to the top. So so when during the last season farming, you see there's a deposit of all these small small stone that is gravel. So and then they gather them one side to allow them to carry out their own activities. So this is what we are seeing them gathering them point to point. So to allow them to do their own work. Okay. So we have come to the almost center of the hill, that is to say where the land is somehow level at the middle after we climb that hill from the first valley we see. So now we are going to have another soil profile here. At this point we are going to have another soil profile here. The essence of having soil profile is just that we want to know, because we have different characteristics. So we know the characteristics we notice in the first place is different from what we notice at the valley point over there. But now, where we are now, we have different characteristics. So we want to know what are the causes of those things that create those differences. So that is why we are taking all these different positions to take the sample, because people will be surprised, say, why must you dig soil profile there and then dig another one? Why not just dig them in the same place? No, there's something you have to look at. We are looking at the physiological appearance. Whatever we see physically on the field now will determine where and where we are to take our sample. And then we advise our farmers, if you are to take a sample, any of our members, if you are to take a sample, for example, at least there are some things you have to put in mind. If you have a farm that have similar characteristics, the numbers of samples you have to take is going to be drastically reduced. So therefore, this is where we have a mango tree, and then we are going to camp here. This one will become our shade where we relax. Whatever we do, if we are tired, we'll come here to relax. You can see the shade is very cool. So this is where we are going to rest a while. Then when we continue, when the laborers comes, well, at least let's start from the few points we've marked already, so that when they take the sample, then we can move. I hope we all enjoy our weekend. Well, we always ask this question. This is the way we are doing our own now. This is how we are doing it now. What about you? What are you doing? What can you do differently? So that's why we said a tree cannot make a forest. If you know you can do better, fine. Come, let's just join hands together. The essence is that we want to what? Fight poverty using what? Agriculture. Any way you think is better. Come, let's rub mind together. Together we'll achieve that. That is just the goal. One family, one farmer. That is the project we are embarking on. And then I believe you, you are a members of a family. As you are watching this video, I know you are a members of a family. Some of us, when they say farming, so what do I have to do with farming? You have a lot to do with farming, because you must eat. You must what? Do what? You must eat. If you like, fast for 40 days. But the 41 days, you have to break the fast, right? When you break the fast, what do you need? You need what? Food. So you can't tell me you don't have anything to do with farming. You have a lot to do with farming. Yes, you may not be carrying hoe or cutlass, yes, but there are other ways in which you can farm. You know, agric is a kind of long value chain that you can tap into any branch of agriculture you think of. Now, this presently, what we are doing here now, what you can see us doing is one of the value chain. What are we doing? Trying to collect soil samples. You know, if you don't want to be part of those that do the farming, Yes, you can be among those that go to field to do one thing or the other to make sure whoever is going to plant is successful, and then the plant succeeds. The person that he kind of put the resources together to make sure he go to the farm also he smile at the end of the day. So why are you telling me you don't have anything to do with? Are you sure you don't have anything to do in farming? If you don't have, look around you. You have a lot of people in your village. Look at them. You can do a lot of things to change their life. We know we have limited resources, which is land, and then our population is fast growing. And then if we don't do something to make sure we safeguard the soil which God have given us free of charge, then we are going to regret at the end of the day. So don't think you'll sit down and said yes, you've made it, but people around you are still suffering, and then you don't do anything to relieve them of that suffering. My dear, you are not doing anything. Oh. As as our word of the year said that if you leave this country the way it is and you die, you will not die in peace. Oh. That is to say, you need to do something. The way things are now, you need to do something to make sure you touch other people's life. Then when you die, you can say yes, you can rest in peace. That is our word of the year. Thank you very much for your time, for viewing. Keep watching Poverty Fighters YouTube channels. You will not regret it because a lot is there for you to see. This is just part of what we do. We are what? Active farmers on the field doing the field work. These are the foot soldiers. We are on the field doing the work. So, dear, what can you do differently? Are you going to leave this country like that without doing anything? Are you going to continuously comparing your own country, your God-gifted country, with other countries that are doing better than you? Think within you what those countries that you are comparing with your own country do that change their own stories today. Do you think that same thing cannot happen in your own country? My dear, let's join hands together. In Poverty Fighters, we are one big family, a family where every ideas, good ones, work in favoring all our members, which I believe every family in the nearest future we are going to have one poverty fighter squad members, which we believe project one family, one farmer. So let's meet. Remember, we always have our training Saturdays and Tuesdays every week, where we share ideas before we go to our field work. We'll meet, we'll discuss way forward how we can make things better. So that is what we are doing every Tuesday. So join our office. Come there, you learn a lot about us. Or you can join us on our you join us. We are you can join us through our website www.ikejachamber.com/poverty fighter squad. Thank you very much. Have a lovely weekend.